years, Victoria Beckham was the epitome of grace and control, the woman who let her fashion speak louder than any words ever could. The world knew her as the former Spice Girl turned luxury designer, a symbol of elegance who never let tabloids rattle her. She had this unshakable aura, unbothered, polished, untouchable. But then came that night in London, the night everything changed. It was supposed to be a routine charity gala, a sparkling evening filled with diamonds, champagne, and camera flashes. Victoria stood on stage, elegant as ever, ready to present an award to a young designer. But halfway through her speech, something in her eyes shifted. The room noticed it, her tone hardened, her hand tightened around the podium, and then she said 7 words that made everyone freeze. "I kept quiet too long. People need to know what she did." Gasps rippled through the crowd. No name was spoken, but none was needed. Every person in that room knew exactly who she meant. Meghan Markle. Within minutes, someone's phone recording of the moment hit social media, an 11-second clip that spread like wildfire. By morning, it had over 4 million views. Comment sections exploded. Victoria finally said it. She broke the royal spell. This is going to get ugly. And just like that, the world realized the Queen of Quiet had finally decided to speak. But this was not a random feud. It was years of friendship, trust, and betrayal boiling under the surface, and that one sentence was just the spark. The friendship that shocked everyone. When Meghan Markle first stepped into the royal spotlight, she was new to everything. New country, new rules, new expectations. The British press was brutal toward her from the start. And then came Victoria Beckham, the woman who had been through that media firestorm herself. Victoria did something rare. She reached out personally. She sent Meghan her private contact list, shared the names of trusted stylists, PR advisors, and even secret spa owners who worked discreetly with A-list clients. She wanted Meghan to have a safety net, someone who understood what it meant to be under a microscope. Soon, the two were inseparable in public. They laughed together at Wimbledon, whispered courtside like old friends, and Victoria even sent exclusive pieces from her fashion line straight to Kensington Palace for Meghan's fittings. It was beautiful, the Hollywood Duchess and the British fashion queen, a powerful duo no one saw coming. For a while, everything looked perfect. Mutual admiration, shared glamour, friendship built on trust. Victoria's team quietly celebrated royal endorsement. Meghan spoke glowingly about Victoria's designs in interviews. It felt like the start of a modern fairy tale, but behind the scenes, something was cracking. The beginning of the rift. By late 2019, whispers started swirling in London's elite circles. Someone close to Meghan had leaked private details to the press stories that only her inner circle could have known. No names were mentioned publicly, but inside the palace, suspicions rose. And slowly, one name kept surfacing again and again: Victoria Beckham. To most people, the idea was absurd. Victoria guarded her privacy like a fortress. She had never sold a story, never played tabloid games. Why would she risk that now? But to Meghan, those leaks felt personal. She started cutting people off quietly, without confrontation or explanation, and Victoria found herself frozen out. Invitations to royal events stopped. Texts went unanswered. One moment they were friends, the next, Victoria was on the outside looking in. By the time Harry and Meghan officially stepped back from their royal duties, the Beckhams were gone from their circle completely. No more joint appearances, no more friendly photo ops, just cold, thick silence. The charity that broke everything years passed with no public word from either side. But then came the charity event that changed everything. Victoria had been working on a massive children's hospital fundraiser, a project close to her heart. Meghan was supposed to co-host, bringing royal visibility to the cause. But then, out of nowhere, an email surfaced. It was from a member of Meghan's team. It read, "Per Duchess's request, please consider alternative fashion sponsorship." Concerns have been raised about brand alignment and external press narratives. Within weeks, Victoria's name was gone from the event posters. Her designs, her donations, her time, all erased. Just like that. Friends close to her said she was heartbroken and humiliated. She had given her name and money to help children, only to be told she was too commercial to stand beside a duchess. And that's when Victoria's hurt turned into something deeper: betrayal. David steps in. The day after Victoria's speech went viral, David Beckham posted a photo of simple family picture of him and Victoria laughing with their kids around a dinner table. No hashtags, no filters, just one caption: "Truth always comes out in the end." That one sentence was enough to send the internet into meltdown. Fans flooded the comments. Some called it supportive, others called it a warning shot. Either way, the message was clear: the Beckhams were done staying silent. Celebrities began quietly taking sides. A supermodel friend of Victoria commented 3 heart emojis. A famous designer reposted David's photo with the caption, "Some people mistake kindness for weakness." The support was subtle but loud enough to shake Hollywood. Meanwhile, Meghan's inner circle, Oprah, Serena Williams, and even Prince Harry stayed completely silent. No tweets, no Instagram likes, no public defense, just silence. And that silence spoke volumes. For the first time, people started to wonder what if Victoria was right. Just when everyone thought the drama had peaked, another shockwave hit the internet late one night. A short, blurry audio clip appeared online just 14 seconds long, but enough to set the world on fire. In it, a woman's voice could be heard calm, cutting, and unmistakably confident. "She's lucky I don't say what I know about her." No names, no context. But the uploader claimed it was Meghan Markle and that the words were aimed straight at Victoria Beckham. Within hours, the clip had over 6 million views. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, it was everywhere. Some said it was fake, others swore it was real. But even Meghan's most loyal fans couldn't defend it right away. One of her biggest fan accounts deleted their pinned tweet supporting her and replaced it with a single haunting line. "If that audio is real, I don't know what to say anymore. Victoria..." She didn't post a single word. She didn't deny it, she didn't confirm it, she didn't even flinch. But a source close to her told a reporter that Victoria was disappointed but not surprised. Those 5 words hit like lightning. Disappointed but not surprised. Victoria Beckham, the woman once mocked for never smiling, had turned silence into strength. Every photo she posted, every step she took, carried weight. Her fans flooded her Instagram with comments like, "Proud of you, queen. Real class never shouts. You stayed quiet and still won. Grace always beats drama." And through it all, Victoria said nothing. No press statement, no public clapback, because she didn't need to. The internet was doing it for her. Behind the scenes, even Hollywood insiders began to admit what many had whispered privately for years. When Victoria Beckham is done with you, doors close fast. People started noticing that certain stylists, designers, and event coordinators were quietly distancing themselves from Meghan's team. It wasn't loud, but it was happening. The tides had turned. The quote that ended it all. Then, finally, after weeks of speculation, Victoria made her first and only public comment. During a small post-show interview at her Fashion Week presentation, a journalist gently asked why she decided to speak out after all these years. Victoria looked up, calm and poised, and said softly, "I stayed quiet because I thought it would protect everyone." But all it did was protect the wrong person. That one line echoed across every major headline, every trending hashtag, every gossip page on Earth. It was simple, elegant, and devastatingly final. The room fell silent. There was no anger in her voice, no bitterness, just quiet truth. And at that moment, the story was no longer about 2 women fighting. It was about one woman reclaiming her dignity after being misjudged and mistreated. The aftermath, Meghan's team still said nothing. No denial, no explanation. Not even a no comment. The longer she stayed silent, the louder Victoria's truth became. David Beckham's now iconic caption, "Truth always comes out in the end," started to feel prophetic because this time, the truth didn't come from a tabloid or a rumor mill. It came from a woman who had spent decades surviving fame, scandals, and scrutiny and had finally decided she'd protected the wrong person long enough. Victoria's fans celebrated her not just as a fashion icon, but as a symbol of quiet strength, a reminder that sometimes silence speaks louder than any headline ever could. And as the cameras flashed one last time at the end of that fashion show, Victoria walked off the runway with her head high, unbothered, untouchable, and finally free.